Have any of y'all ever woke up early one morning and just go, man, it feels good. I'm waking up with some white privilege this morning. Well, of course, you'd have to be white to experience that. But I woke up this morning feeling so privileged. You know, I'm white. I have so much to be thankful for. So I thought I would do some stories, do a little research on the privilege of white privilege and how it's been benefiting white people here in America. Even I got a little story about South America. How white privilege has really been benefiting them. And some explanation of what white privilege is. And, well, I'll just show y'all. Check this out.
Thank you, Diane. And in today's news, let's talk about this white privilege.
Texas!
Have you, or anyone that you know, ever had trouble hailing a cab? If your answer is no, then you might have white privilege.
It's not fair when the people have to experience this when I never have. I mean, look at me. I'm a lighter complexion.
So, what is white privilege?
White privilege is advantage that I got from being born white.
All right, well, now at 10:30, shocking footage tonight showing a group of young people relentlessly beating a man in Center City.
Yeah, the violent encounter apparently began with an argument with the driver. The video shot near 15th and Chestnut shows a large group of teens punching and stomping on the man before fleeing that scene, and police are now investigating.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Action News reporter Bob Brooks live in Center City now with more on the crime and the video. Bob.
Well, Shari and Rick, I can tell you this man, the victim, 50 years old, he's still in the hospital tonight. Now, where this happened, 15th and Chestnut, we're just steps away from City Hall. And we spoke with a lot of businesses and people who live around here. They say that when students get out of school around here, it is simply out of control. First, we see one of the suspects kick the side view mirror, then smack it off into the intersection of 15th and Chestnut Streets. The driver immediately gets out to confront him. What happens next is horrible. You see the man is punched. He drops. Then a mob of students start kicking and punching him repeatedly until someone breaks it up. The victim is left motionless on the street until an ambulance comes. Philadelphia police confirmed that the students are from PE and T charter school nearby. And as of now, they've ID'd all 7 students involved and plan on arresting them. But those around here say the students putting a man in the hospital today was just the boiling point.
It's a madhouse. The police are here every day.
The voice you just heard is the only person who lives or does business around here that would have anything to do with our cameras. Everyone else was too worried what the students might do if they're recognized.
I've always been secure and being able to take care of myself. It's a matter of it being 100 people that just want to come up and attack you, and that's the way it would be.
In fact, someone who works at a local apartment building tells me that some kids came in recently into the lobby and he chased them out, but when he did, they retaliated by throwing a brick at him and hit him in the knee. Tonight we saw numerous officers on bicycle patrol, but neighbors and businesses want better protection. The clothing stores say they can't allow groups of kids inside. Even the restaurants say kids have come in and disrupted their service and their guests. In fact, yesterday, there was another situation where police had to come in and break up a group of students here. Okay, Rick, again, that victim still in the hospital, and police say they plan on arresting 7 of those young students.
Well, it looks like nobody told those black students in Philadelphia about white privilege, or they wouldn't have treated that white man that way. No, they wouldn't. So there's an example of white privilege not being acknowledged in Philadelphia. Well, let's go on and hear a little bit more from this white woman who seems to have been an expert on white privilege and the explanation of it, what she has to say about white privilege.
in a culture that favors whites.
Dr. Peggy McIntosh popularized the phrase white privilege more than 3 decades ago. She's an author, a scholar, and says it doesn't matter if you were born rich or not. White people in this country have an advantage.
Bus brawl caught on camera. 3 black college students had claimed they were attacked because of their race, but now they're facing charges because police claim that this surveillance video tells a very different story. ABC's Gio Benitez is on the scene in Albany, New York. Good morning, Gio.
George, good morning to you. Police say they've enhanced that video and talked to witnesses, and now they firmly believe that the girls are lying. This morning, 3 college students under fire for what's seen in the surveillance video.
Hi, yes, I'd like to report the fact that me and my friends were just jumped on a bus for being black.
Just after 1 a.m. on January 30th, Ariella Gudio, Alexis Briggs, and Aisha Burwell, all 20-year-old college students at the University at Albany, claiming they were the only black students on a city bus when they were called racial slurs and hit by several white males. They say they were surrounded by students and felt threatened. They fought back. 2 of the girls called 911.
It was a racially fueled crime. We were 3 black girls jumped by like 20 white people.
University staff and students immediately rallying behind the girls. But within hours of that rally, an Instagram video posted online showing what looks like the girls approaching the men first. The university and city immediately launching an investigation.
I ask all of us to not rush to judgment.
Leading to the release of this surveillance video from inside the bus that night, witnesses on board telling police it wasn't the men, but the women who were the aggressors.
It definitely looks like it wasn't what the girl said it was that happened, and actually it looks like the opposite.
But the girls maintain they are the victims. This week, all 3 girls in court pleading not guilty to charges of third-degree assault. Civil rights activists now concerned about what this case could mean for future racial crimes.
When there's another incident or a similar incident, will the community believe this? And that is very troubling for many people.
And 2 of the girls have also been charged with falsely reporting an incident. By the way, we should tell you, the video does not make clear exactly what happened. A jury may have to decide. Robin, George.
Okay, thank you, Gio.
Well, it looks like white privilege is not being acknowledged in New York on the buses either, does it, huh? What in the world? Don't they know in New York? Well, they don't know in Philadelphia, but don't they know in New York that there is such a thing as white privilege? And white men especially shouldn't have to worry about getting on a bus and being attacked by black women? Lord have mercy. Well, let's see if we can find some more explanation from maybe this woman here that was doing such a fantastic job of explaining white privilege a minute ago. Maybe she has a little bit more information for us about white privilege. If not, I'm sure I can find a better explanation of our white privilege. Hold on.
1989 essay, she listed 46 ways being white has helped her.
Some of my examples were if the cops pull me over, I can be sure it's not because of my skin color. I can go shopping alone, pretty well assured that I won't be harassed or followed.
Now to our other big story, the search for a man caught on camera punching an 88-year-old woman who was walking out of a grocery store. Good evening, I'm Bill Baessa.
Hello, I'm Dominique Soxa. This happened outside the H-E-B Buffalo Market store on Buffalo Speedway in Bissonnette, which is near Upper Kirby and West U.
Our Keith Garvin joining us live from that store tonight. And Keith, you just spoke with the woman who was attacked?
I did, Bill, and she says she is still trying to recover emotionally from this attack. It happened at this grocery store behind me back in March, but police are releasing the video now because they want the public's help in catching this man.
I just kept saying, he hit me, he hit me.
This surveillance video from a Houston grocery store shows the moment an 88-year-old great-great-grandmother was senselessly sucker punched by a man sitting in a wheelchair.
As I guess it passed by him, he hit me. And, of course, I fell, and it kind of stunned me for a while.
So stunned that after Mary Rutkowski was attacked, she had trouble even remembering the assault 5 weeks later. In the video, you see her walking out of the H-E-B on the 5200 block of Buffalo Speedway in Upper Kirby. She's behind her daughter, who is pushing a grocery cart. That's when the man in the wheelchair reaches out and punches her in the face. The blow knocks Ms. Rutkowski to the ground where she lied motionless. The man then stands up and casually walks away with the wheelchair while Rutkowski's daughter and another person try to help. What do you think would possess a man to hit you?
I have no idea. I just have no idea. Just meanness.
The attack happened in March, and Ms. Rutkowski has since recovered physically from a constant ringing in her ears, sleepless nights, and a few bruises she sustained. But she says she is still trying to heal emotionally.
Skin-wise, I have no bruises, but it's deep in me that it's hurting so much.
At 88 years of age, Ms. Rutkowski says there is still a lot she wants to accomplish in her life. One of her new goals is to catch the man who attacked her.
Help get rid of this man, get him off of the street.
Yeah, Ms. Rutkowski said that she is now able to sleep through the night, but she says she's also starting to have more trouble hearing than normal because her hearing aid was actually broken either when she was hit or when she hit the ground. So they are asking if anyone knows anything about the man. If you recognize the man in that video, they want you to call HPD so they can indeed help get him off the street. Reporting live from near Upper Kirby, Keith Garvin, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Well, tonight, police are searching for two brothers considered persons of interest in the beating of a Macy's employee.
The attack was caught on camera inside a Genesee County store. 7 Action News reporter Jennifer Ann Wilson joins us with a closer look at this.
Flint Township police say they still don't have all the facts, but this video was captured and has now been shared on many different social media accounts, including YouTube, along with allegations on what may have happened before that first punch was thrown. This video, filmed inside the Macy's at the Genesee Valley Center Mall, shows a man hitting an employee, knocking him to the ground, hitting him again, while using the N-word over and over. You can also hear the employee repeatedly saying, "I'm sorry." It was originally posted on rapper FT Quay's Facebook page, which has since been deactivated, but not before this video went viral and fueled a police investigation. Last Monday, Flint Township police say they were called to the Macy's around 5:45 p.m. Police say a store employee was assaulted by a young man while a second man filmed it. Flint Township police are now looking for 18-year-old Demeyer Cannell Palmer of Mount Morris and 22-year-old Demarque Jovan Palmer of Flint Township. This in connection with this case, asking them to come forward and give a statement. It's unclear at this point what led to the altercation, but some social media postings allege the employee used a racial slur. Macy's responded with a statement saying, in part, all the materials from the evening have been reviewed, and it is clear the attack was unprovoked. Macy's says they and mall management have added additional security since this incident last Monday to ensure the safety of employees and customers. Meanwhile, police are asking if you have any information to please give them a call. I'm Jennifer Ann Wilson, 7 Action News.
Well, that Macy's employee and that old 88-year-old white woman, they were both white. They didn't experience no white privilege, did they? I don't know. I'll tell you what. I'm starting to begin to think that when I woke up this morning, that was just a dream that I was having about white privilege. Lord have mercy. I think I need to go back to sleep for a little bit. I don't know. You know, this white privilege thing don't seem like it's working out too good for us white folks. And that white lady that was explaining all this white privilege, I think she needs to go back to sleep too and and wake up, because I ain't seeing no white privilege. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Well, those were just a few bad instances or examples of white privilege or non-existent white privilege. I'm not going to go back to sleep yet until I can find some white privilege. Let me look around and see if I can't find a couple more stories. I'm just going to look for a couple of more real quick, because I know there's got to be some white privilege out there somewhere. I just got to find it. Let me look.
The NYPD makes an arrest in a string of random assaults in Manhattan, including a possible hate crime. Police had released surveillance video of the suspect walking on the street shirtless. Investigators say he attacked at least 4 people this month, 3 of them on August 14th. A 58-year-old man in Chelsea was hit in the face while the suspect allegedly shouted anti-white comments. Police say the suspect also threw a brick at a young woman and hit another with a stick. 33-year-old Todd Lyons is now facing hate crime and assault charges.
The surveillance video is brutal. A group of people on the Target Field Plaza start punching a man, then jumping on him, stripping off his pants and stealing from his pockets, throwing a potted plant on him, then running him over with a bicycle.
I don't think I have ever seen anything like what I saw at Target Field.
Ken Sherman, owner of 7 Steakhouse and Sushi on Hennepin Avenue, has long been a critic of the amount of crime-fighting resources spent downtown. He thinks these videos, recorded in August, while shocking, are important for the public to see.
Look, stealing is one thing, but the level of viciousness goes far beyond anything I think any of us who are civil people imagine.
A second video given to KARE 11 this week shows a group surrounding a man at 5th and Hennepin, snatching his cell phone, then beating him senseless. And Sherman is now releasing yet another video, recorded in July, of the same thing happening to 2 men in that same area. Police recently arrested 16 people allegedly involved in these incidents.
At this time last year, there'd been 156 robberies in the downtown precinct. This year, there's been 240. That's more than a 53% increase.
But are the videos a window into the need to hire more officers? Mayor Jacob Fry thinks so.
We want officers out there on the street walking a beat, preventing some of these serious crimes before they take place to begin with.
But Steve Fletcher and some of his fellow council members are skeptical of additional hires and believe downtown policing can be improved with completely revamped scheduling and staffing.
I want to tie our investments to structural change that improves the performance of the police department.
As for the robberies, police say they've gone way down after the recent arrests, and they hope no more videos like this pop up. Lou Ragoose, KARE 11 News.
Chief Arredondo wants to add 400 officers by the end of 2025. A survey released on Monday found 63% of Minneapolis residents support that idea. But for now, he and the mayor believe 14 new hires for next year is the most the city council would approve.
Well, I'm sorry, I can't find no evidence of white privilege. Sure ain't none up there in Minneapolis, is it? Lord have mercy. White privilege is a myth. White privilege is as real as Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, and anything else that we know is not real. There's no such thing as white privilege. I don't know why they ever came up with this. Wait, I do have one more story I wanted to show you of a man being accused of using his white privilege, and he's not even white. Check this out.
Meanwhile, some on the political left love to use the word and often use the word white privilege as an argument in policy debates.
But an exchange that took place on the radio yesterday between host David Webb and legal analyst Ariva Martin was pretty embarrassing for her.
That's a whole nother long conversation about white privilege and things that you have the privilege of doing that people of color don't have the privilege of.
How do I have the privilege of white privilege?
David, by virtue of being a white male, you have white privilege.
Ariva, I hate to break it to you, but you should have been better prepped. I'm black.
Okay. Boom. David Webb joins us, the host of Fox Nation's Reality Check. David, when she said that to you, obviously you were not face-to-face?
No, we were not. We were on the radio, which is what obviously makes this really interesting to me. That forget tone, voice, being prepped, as I said to her, she immediately defaulted to an attack, which is a false narrative. There is no such thing as white privilege. There's earned privilege in life that you work for. There are those who may have a form of privilege that they exert on others in a form of influence. But this is about more than just what she said and the embarrassment, and she should be, but the default to this easy false narrative.
What went through your mind when she said that? Your comeback was pretty quick. And what did she say after she learned that you were black?
Well, she apologized. She, you're caught. What do you do? So she apologized. But in that apology, she throws her team under the bus. And first of all, I have never done that to anyone that's ever worked on any of my shows on radio or television. I would never do that. So frankly, they should consider why they're being thrown away. But I have a question. Who gives you the wrong information that I'm white to come on my radio show. Think about that for a minute.
What did she say, her team? What was the bad information?
They gave her the wrong information. So
what does that mean?
Well, that's my question. How do you give someone the wrong information about my skin color? But, you know, I also went into something, and I want people to understand this. There's a serious conversation to be taken from this. As I've said before, our skin is an organ. It doesn't think, it doesn't formulate ideas. Let's look at it that way and go back to the ideas in our head, the ideas in our mind, and the things we need to discuss.
So here's the thing. Let's look at the whole issue in particular. You had a set of beliefs that she just assumed made you white because you believe what?
Because I was talking about law and process and due process. To be fair, we had a long conversation, probably about 12 minutes or so, going into this portion of my interview with her. And it was a fair exchange of ideas. We were talking about issues where we agree, disagree. We're talking about proof, all things that relate to that. And then we got into the story of media coverage, the CBS coverage team that was tweeted out by AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. They're being attacked because of color. And that's how we came around to this. Then I talked about qualifications. I'd been through different genres in radio, as you guys know. Rock, urban, hip-hop, you name it. And I've been through different genres in talk. And it was because I did the work, and that's why I made the qualification statement. But being on Patriot Radio with me and being on a conservative talk station, well, I must have been white. It was in her head. But I go back to, who gives you the wrong information about my skin color?
I think that was just her response. She was just caught. I don't think her producers tell her. I would imagine they're not telling her what color skin the person
Well, I
she's
don't
interviewing.
look for color, but if I'm being interviewed, and we started here at some point together, right, what do? I go and I look and I go, who am I talking to? What do I know about him? Brian does radio. Well, you and I have known each other a long time, before you were even on this couch. Same thing, Steve. So what do? You look up who you're interviewing, a lawyer, an attorney. You don't go for color, but you go for information.
Clearly, she made a gigantic mistake, and she has apologized. Have you accepted the apology?
It wasn't about accepting or not accepting. She got caught. What I hope people take away from it, because I have no reason to diss her, and I did invite her back, by the way. I said at the interview, let's come back and have a longer conversation about white privilege as you see it. So that invitation is out there, and hopefully we can take from this and the media firestorm, that's what happens, and get into that discussion.
There's definitely a lesson that we can learn here. We can be better people and not make stereotypes and assumptions based on someone's beliefs or how they vote. But if this were happening, if the shoe were on the other foot, if you had done this to her, if a conservative had done this to a liberal, what would be the reaction?
It would be calls for firing. They would be pressuring advertisers. The machine on the left would have gone into full-blown action. They would have demanded that I be thrown off Fox, that I be thrown off Sirius XM Patriot, that I be out of the media and out of the world. And that's a problem, because even though I don't agree with her, I invited her back. I want to have the debate, because the debate lets us expose the ideas and let people decide for themselves. Like I said, our skin's an organ, right? It doesn't think. It doesn't formulate ideas. It just says, this is the result of your parentage.
We'll watch you more on Fox Nation and listen to you more on the radio.
And I always watch you guys in the morning when I'm prepping. So you're part of my prep.
All right, good job.
Sure, blame us.
You did your homework.
Thanks, David. Appreciate it. There's Reality Check with David Webb on Fox Nation. Download the app.
Well, there's an example right there. Blacks just want to blame, blame, blame. Now, this guy was a black man. And he wasn't pecan tan black. He was pretty dark black. But the blacks just want to find every excuse to blame the white man. Blame Whitey, as Billy Lee says. Blame Whitey, blame Whitey. That's right. They just want to blame the white man. Well, I think I'm going to go back to sleep for a little bit and see if I can't wake up again. But this time, well, I hope I wake up again. But this time, wake up and realize I don't have any white privilege. That I'm just thankful to be waking up and realize that God's given me another day to try to do the best that I can out here. And don't fall for this white privilege crap. And people don't y'all fall for it either. I know the chicken bundles ain't falling for it. But show this video to your family and friends. Ask them what they think about white privilege. Ask them, do they feel privileged if they're white? And if so, to give you some examples of why they feel like they're privileged. 'Cause I don't feel like I'm privileged. No, I've never felt like I've been privileged because I'm white. No, that's just a myth. That's just a myth that the media wants to put on us and say that it's a white privilege when we don't see any example of it. Especially when you turn on the news every day and you see all the crime going on in this country. No, there's no white privilege. Whites are being beat down, kicked, stabbed, run over, stole from, can't even go to the store. That white woman says she felt safe going to a store. I don't know what store she was going to. Maybe it was a Ku Klux Klan store or something. I don't know. But look here. I hope you liked the video. If you do, hit that like button. Share it with your family and friends. If you ain't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. I'd appreciate it, all right? All right, I'll talk to y'all later. See the sign back there? You see it? Pop, pop, pop.
Remarkable. Remarkable.